If you've been praying and nothing is changing, I want you to hear this clearly. It's not that God isn't at work in your life or that He's not moving. It may very well be that you don't know how to pray. Now, I know that those are strong words. I know that that may come off as harsh, but I want you all to understand something. God does not bless control, God blesses surrender. And so today, in this quick video, I'm going to talk about 3 shifts that you can place in your life today that may very well fundamentally change the way that you pray. Because whenever your prayer life changes, believe me, everything changes. All right, shift number 1, stop praying for comfort and start praying for change. James has some very powerful words for us here in chapter number 4 and verse number 3. Let's see what it says right here. I love the book of James. What he is saying right here is, you ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly to spend it on your passions. Praying for yourself. And let's be real, myself included. Most of our prayers, what do they sound like? God, please fix this. God, please show up. Like right now. God, please make this easier. God, please take this away, right? But what if the pressure isn't actually the problem? Like, what if it's the process of praying? We talk about this all the time, but I want you to think about somebody in the gym that is training, that is trying to get better, faster, and stronger. When they're working with a personal trainer, they don't say, hey, can you take some weight off today? That'd be great. The trainer's like, no, absolutely not. We're trying to get bigger and better. I'm not taking weight off. I'm putting weight on. And you start looking at it like that way, it changes it just a little bit. The trainer's not going to take those weights off. Why? Because it robs them of growth. That means they are then not doing their job. And listen, I know this from personal experience. God is not always trying to remove pressure from your life. He's trying to build capacity inside of you so that you can handle that more and more pressure as it comes. He's making you better. So check this out. I want you to stop asking God to make it better and ask Him to start making you stronger. All right, shift number 2. Your breakthrough is going to begin when your control ends. Check out Luke chapter number 22, verse number 42. This is Jesus speaking right here, our ultimate model. What does He say here in verse number 42? He says, Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. Always going after God's will. Not me, but Him. Not me, but Him. Sorry, slapping my mic. Not me, but Him. And this right here, this is where most people will never break through because they keep praying for control. They keep praying, God, if you will just bless all of these things that I'm doing, I promise that it's going to glorify you. That is completely backwards. Because we say that we trust God, we say that we believe, we say that we trust, and then we pray for Him to bless all of the plans that we're making. Does that make sense? That's a shift that's got to change. You have got to give up control if you want your breakthrough to come, and it will. It will. Once you let go of control and you surrender, you'll start seeing Him work in mighty, powerful ways in your life. We are selfish people. We want things to be our way, but I'm going to get up in your face right here just real quick with this quick statement. You want breakthrough, but only if it comes the way that you want it. That's not surrender. That's a wish with a prayer attached to it. So you can tell people that God is blessing it. That's not true. I have done this more times than I can count, y'all. More times than I can count. Trying to plan everything, to force doors open, to kick down doors. And what happened? It made it worse every single time. You always start off right back where you're at, like, I am sorry. Let me surrender. Let me come to you. Your ways are better than my ways. Your understanding is so much better than my understanding. And I'm not saying don't do anything. Just lay around and wait for God's voice. You're going to be laying there until you starve to death. You don't do that. It's about walking in spirit with Him and getting to that habit and that routine of surrendering to Him and saying, God, I don't know what you have in store for me today, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to follow it. Help me to not mess it up. Help me to follow you and seek your ways in the way that I approach this, and He will bless it. That's not you controlling things. That is you surrendering. And there's a massive difference, y'all. So when I finally would just step back and just say, okay, God, this is yours. That's when things shifted. And not always instantly, but always correctly. God has no interest in fitting into your plan. He's trying to get you into His plan. And believe me, it's better. All right, I'm going to stop beating up shift number 2 here after just one more statement. When your control ends, your transformation begins. And that's real. And finally, point number 3, my favorite, pray like you expect God to move. We're going to look at Mark chapter 11, verse number 24. But right here, beginning in verse number 20, Jesus is talking about us having faith in God. And I want you to check out verse number 24. This is so good, and I bet you've heard it. Check this out. Verse number 24. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. What does this mean? This is where a ton of people miss it. This is where people pray all of the time, but they actually don't expect anything to happen. It just becomes routine. It becomes that thing that we do at church or that we do before we eat. And it's just these empty words that we say before God. And, I've done it. I've done it many times where you pray to God and you're just like, God, please help me with this and this and this. And you're not expecting anything to happen. There's no faith behind it. You're just praying because as a Christian, you feel like it's something that you're supposed to do. You don't have any real expectation behind that. That is the faith of the mustard seed that Jesus was talking about here. I get fired up about this shift right here for sure. We pray, then we worry. We pray, then we doubt. We pray, and then 10 seconds later, we're off trying to fix it ourselves. There's no real trust behind it. It's become so ritualistic, and I go to God about that all the time, just begging him, please don't let this become ritualistic. Let this be relationship. Let this be me coming to you and laying down my life and saying, God, what do you want me to do today? Not for me to wake up in the morning and come to him with my 17 goal list, which believe I have a ton of tasks, tons of things that I want to do that I think are good things, but they may not all be God things. I need him to help me discern that. Let me equate it to this. All of us, we probably use Amazon, right? Whenever you go to Amazon and you hit the button to buy now, and you get that notification, it's going to be arriving in 2 days. Do you check that every 15 seconds for the next 2 days? No, you have faith that it's going to show up because whenever you hit that button, it is clockwork. And if your house is anything like mine, that Amazon truck pretty much lives here. It's got a spot in my driveway. Comes all the time, brings all of the things that we need for our household items, all of those things. But when you hit that button, you're not afraid that it's not going to show up. You have faith that it is. So how about in the almighty, powerful God in the universe that you got faith that whenever you hit that button, he's going to show up? You can't put blame on him whenever you're asking and you're saying, yes, I'm praying. And then 5 seconds later, you have no faith about it whatsoever. That, pal, that's on you. It totally is. God is there, I promise. You're not. That happens all of the time. And another crappy thing about that is if you start getting to that routine of just praying and going to try to fix it for yourself, here's what's going to happen. God's going to show up and he is going to be moving, and you're not going to recognize it because you're not looking for it. Right? So listen, I'm just going to wrap this up. I'm not going to keep you all for long today. But if you've been praying and nothing is changing, I want you to think about these 3 shifts about the way that you pray. Are you praying for you, or are you praying seeking the kingdom, hoping that his will is done? Are you praying on ways that he can use you today? Because when you pray for him to use you, that sounds like that it's a lot of work, it's a ton of fuddy-duddy stuff, but he's going to bless you, he's going to put favor on your life, and he's going to put you in situations where you're living out your purpose and you're doing what you're happy to do and you're blessing other people. His way is the best way. I don't know how else to say this, man. It's been so evident in my life. I'm a walking, living, breathing testimony to the goodness and faithfulness of Jesus Christ and everything that he has done for me. I don't deserve anything that I have. I don't deserve to be alive. Every single second that I'm breathing now is by his grace, his power, and his mercy. And I am desperate to get better at praying because I know that praying is communion with God. It is relationship with God. He knows what we need before we even ask him. We don't have to pray. We do it because it is communal. It is being with him. It is growing a relationship. Check this out. You could raise kids and hardly ever even talk to them. Does that make sense? They could come and go. You could feed them. You could do the bare minimum. But don't you want that relationship with them, that sweetness to sit down? You know what they need most of the time, but isn't it nice when they come and they ask and they talk to you and they want to have that relationship and build that up? That's exactly what God is looking for us here. He knows better than we do. So let's give it up. Let's release control. Let's release control. You're never going to have full transformation and blessings in God until you give up control. And what you'll find is when you give up that control, you get everything. You get absolutely everything. He is the way. He is the truth. He is the life. I'm so glad that you guys popped in here today. I am honored and blessed and humbled that you would even come here and watch my face or listen to my words. I pray for all of you every single day. I hope that you all are doing very, very well. I love my audience. I love the people that come and watch this and your encouragement. I am not doing this for me. I am doing this for somebody that hopefully hears this and wants to turn their life around. You do not have to live in defeat and the muck and the mire. Jesus is the way, y'all. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one.